Yu-Gi-Oh players, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is J.D. DeKaiser. I'm one of your Texas area Yu-Gi-Oh head judges. For those of you that do know who I am, I'm actually going to be spending a lot of time being very real with y'all, letting you know what's going on with our community, and just getting everybody caught up, because a lot has changed since September 1st. First and foremost, Ken Manis has officially retired from judging. What that means for the player base, to be honest, not much. It affects the judging community more because the Austin area loses one of its most established mentors and a big part of the organizational force in San Antonio. All that really means is I'm going to be more involved with organizing San Antonio events, and you're just not going to be seeing Kane as a head judge anymore. It's sad, but time marches on. A lot of people have asked me what it's going to be like being the new head judge, or who's going to take over for Ken. Well, my answer to that is there's nothing to take over. All Ken really had was a database of judges that was really only for South Texas. I'm going to be working on a new database of judges for all of Texas, maybe even some of Louisiana, and I just want to emphasize that there's no official head judge of Texas. There's never been one. One has never been appointed, ever at any point. There's a brief moment where we had a Texas judge manager back in Upper Deck days, but that's obviously not the case anymore. Our judge manager for Konami is Julia. Always has been, as far as Konami is involved, and always will be for the foreseeable future. Hopefully for a long time. She's our judge mama. We love her very much. She manages a lot of Konami's territories. There's the United States, there's Mexico, there's the rest of Latin America, there's Canada. I'm sure there's quite a few territories I'm skipping, but the big ones, as far as we're concerned, is the United States, for obvious reasons. We're in Texas, we're in the United States currently, so that's what we're focusing on. Head judges in Texas. There are currently 3 active head judges who spend a lot of time running the events. There's myself, there's David, the owner of Epic Cards and Games up in Irving, Texas, doing a lot of Dallas and Fort Worth events, and there's Jeremy Bean, who incidentally recently had a new baby. So a big shout out to him and his girlfriend. They get back on their feet, and both of them get back to judging at events, because we definitely missed them this past weekend. There's also a head judge in Louisiana, Ontario. A lot of you know him as T-Bert, or the Greatest Noob, or whatever he wants to be called. He has his own YouTube channel. I'll post a link to that later. He's head judged 2 regionals so far, with the third one being this September 29th in Houston. So hopefully everybody will be able to come out to that and give him the support. It's kind of a big deal for him because he does not have Ken in his back anymore, although I will absolutely be there having his back. Speaking of events, with no format comes new everything really this time. Apparently, I've spoken to a lot of judges across the country, and they've all reported a much higher turnout at the regional events this past weekend. Even YCS Toronto was the biggest Canadian event that they've had in a very long time. Probably ever, if I'm not mistaken. What that means for us, bigger events means we need a bigger judge staff. We're going to have events where there are going to be 9 rounds, top 48 get their invites, top 8 play for prizes. So yeah, we're going to need more judges to fill in the gaps, which are being left by all the previous judges who are quitting for whatever reason, life reasons. Some probably don't like me that much. That's fine. I can be a people pleaser all the time. Although, since I am one of the more experienced head judges in Texas right now, I will be looking for new people to train, spend some time with, and get to know better so I can train them better to be judges. How do you become a judge? There's an online test you can take on Konami's website. I'll post a link to that below. That's your first step. There's going to be a slow response time just because, like I said earlier, Julia Hedberg is our judge manager for quite a lot of territories, so she could get backlogged quite often. I also recommend joining the Facebook group Adjudication Conflagration. Again, I'll post a link to that down below as well. You can only get into that group once you've passed the test and have entered the judge program. It's a great place to socialize with other judges, talk to people, learn tricks of the trade, so to speak, and get advice, really, and just become better prepared to handle yourself at events. The second step really depends on how fast you want to develop. There are some people that join the judge program and only want to judge YCS events, which is fine, but your development as a judge is going to be a little stunted, for lack of a better term, just because you're not judging as often, and you're not always guaranteed to get the hands-on approach from your team leader of whatever YCS you do end up running at, compared to the regional level. At the regional level, you get to deal with myself, get to deal with Ontario, get to deal with David, all of the Texas area head judges, and all the TOs. You have DNA Comics, you have Heroes of Fantasies in Houston. DNA is in Humble, Texas, which is north of Houston. Heroes of Fantasies is in San Antonio, as well as Game-A-Lot, and Epic Cards and Games. There are also a couple other TOs in Texas that I actually have not met yet. I might be going to Lubbock to meet up with Mad Hatter, I believe, is the store, and just meet the owner and introduce myself. Because I heard that he's been looking for a way to get more credible judges for his regionals. So, and since I have a lot of contact information for a lot of judges, hopefully I can help him out with that. The third step, or the third option you have is, after you pass the judge test, wing it, hope for the best. I don't recommend that route because you really have no direction. I do recommend getting in touch with other TOs or myself or any other head judge that you know, and that can help give you some direction and give you pointers for judging. To wrap up, I just want to say thank you. I mean, I started out as a judge back in 2005, 2006, give or take. There are a lot of people that liked me as a judge. So Sheila, the former premier tournament organizer in Houston, pushed me along to train to become a leader in the community. And thanks to your guys' help, I've attained that status. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. Thank you, everybody who supported me, who's pushed me along, who's wanted me to get involved with their events. It really means a lot to me. Before I became a judge, I was not unlike a lot of y'all, really. I was very sheltered. I was not social. I was a dork. I was a huge nerd without a social life. Now I'm a huge nerd with a social life. That's a big deal. So again, thank you everybody. I want to have my position in the community. I want to have the power that I do if you guys didn't give it to me. I don't feel like I've abused any of it, and I don't plan on it. So, I may keep posting videos online if it's the best way to get information out. Otherwise, I'm posting a link to the group that I started on Facebook for Texas card games. I'm trying to expand that to Magic because, as some of you that play both card games know, there's not a whole lot of difference between the two card games. I don't see why the two groups don't like each other. I just want to create a better tolerance of that for everybody in the community. I also want to give a shout out to everybody who has things going on in their lives or have given contributions. Ken Manis, part of the reasons why he's left is he has written his own book and has published it. It's on Amazon.com. I'm going to post a link to that below. It's a fantastic read. It's not something I like too much, but I know a lot of people do. It's a vampire-based book, and he's quite proud of it, and in turn, so am I. Other judges in the state, or around the state, that have contributions. Ontario Durgan, I'll post a link to his channel. He has some interesting things to say about whatever's going on in the community. Justin Dominguez, Eliud Vasquez, both established judges, both established competitors. In fact, Justin got his top 32 at the North American WCQ this past year. They are part of Team Misplay. I'll put a link to their videos on there because I always like supporting my fellow judge. yeah, that's all I really want to say right now. So, oh, places I might be. This coming weekend, Clockwork Games. I consider it my home store just because it's in the town that I spent the most time in for the past 10 years. Texas A&M, College Station. Clockwork Games is opening up a new store location. It's grand reopening this weekend. Lots of free events this weekend. Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Call of Duty, Marvel vs. Capcom. If you have the time to make the drive to College Station, I highly recommend doing that. I'll probably be there, so hopefully I'll see you there. There's a regional event in Lubbock on September 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. I've been thinking about driving up there, and if I do, I'll see y'all there. Otherwise, September 29th, Houston's Regional at Greenspoint Mall. If you're not there, you're not serious about this game. I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully I'll see you at an event. Take care.